here, guy 231, and the Champions League is back for Tuesday, February 16th. Put out a poll on Twitter. I was actually thinking, 4-game slates up. That's what everybody will want. And 2-gamer, far and away for the little bit that I had it up. So we're breaking on the 2-game slate. We'll be back tomorrow for the other 2-game slate. I haven't looked at the 4-gamer. I used this time to research the 2-gamer so I could put this out. So for FSI members in chat, I'll have a 4-gamer up tomorrow. But for now, we are talking about PSG, Neymarless, and Angel Di Maria-less. PSG going to Barcelona, and the shell of Liverpool going to neutral site, which is big. Neutral site versus, I'm not even going to try to say Leipzig, right? I think it's our Red Bull Leipzig, but we're just going to call it Red Bull. That's the easiest way to say it. But should be an interesting day. I'm going to start out in, kind of how I'm going to proceed with this. I'm going to just kind of give it over my oversight of the games, some of the things that matchups and things I think might take advantage of. We'll go through some of the top plays and maybe a core build, and we'll get out of here. So just a quick reminder: if you enjoy these videos, bottom of the screen is the subscribe button. Please hit it. And while you're at it, if you have other Google accounts or other YouTube accounts or other whatever accounts, use those to subscribe. We are so close to 2,000. Hasn't been a year, or might be just at a year for FSI on YouTube. And to have 2,000 subscribers is absolutely insane. So thank you guys. Really, thank you. It's been awesome. And we are looking forward to the next 2,000 subscribers. Hopefully you can help us get there. All right, like I promised, let's go into the games, the matchups, all that fun stuff. All right. I'm going to jump over to the odds first. I know I'm teasing you. I got 2 plays there for you. Here's your freebie. If you're just scrolling through the YouTube, there's your 2 freebies. I'll probably have a third by the end, but you got to scroll further to get there. All right. Barcelona, -100 favorite. Should be more in my opinion. +262 PSG. Ronald Koeman thinks he's the best team in the Champions League, if I read his comments right. But I think he's just feeling nice and cocky now that Barcelona's playing a little bit better. And now they get to host no Neymar and no Di Maria. Think that he's feeling a little bit better about himself, but 3 total. So that's very interesting to see that total. And then we have Red Bull Leipzig versus Liverpool. Neutral site, get that in there. I can't remember where it's at. It's not in Germany because there's travel restrictions or what is it? I think if Liverpool goes there, they have to quarantine. I don't remember the whole thing. Game can't happen in Germany, so it's not in Germany. 2.75 total. I'll just tell you this. Hammer that over if you're betting. I don't see a way that there's not 3 or 4 goals in this game, but all right, going to get to that in a second. Let's talk about PSG versus Barcelona first. All right, here's just what I'll say. Obviously, everybody's going to play Messi, but I think that the interesting thing here is just going to be how Barcelona decides to attack. I do think that, we know Pochettino back into Spurs days has no problem playing on the counter. And with the type of players that he has, like Idrissa Gueye, Leandro Paredes, Danilo Pereira. I don't know how they're going to line up in midfield. Marquinhos. He has a lot of good defensive players. And then he has potentially the best counter attacker in the world, Kylian Mbappe. I mean, if he's not the fastest player in the world, he's a top 5 fastest player in the world, and probably the fastest player in the world with the ball control and with the finishing skills that he has. So he's probably the most elite counter attacker, the most ruthless counter attacker in the world. So I think that Pochettino's probably that's going to how he's going to set up, which is going to mean, outside of value play Leandro Paredes. Let me get the screen back up. Value play Leandro Paredes. And here's the reason that we're on Leandro Paredes. Okay, is that look, he took set pieces, so he took 2 corners on the weekend. Julian Draxler, who's way too expensive to consider, took 1. Where is Draxler? Is it 60? Yeah, 6,500. No way. But he's 3,400. Here's the thing that's interesting about Paredes. Even if he was not taking some corners, and look, when we're saying corners, he might take 2 or 3, right? But that's an extra 2 DK points. He's a pretty active midfielder. Likes to tackle, likes to get occasional shot, get an occasional foul drawn, get an occasional or regular yellow card. So just understand that risk and don't tilt your face off when 10 minutes in he loses his temper, yells at Messi or Griezmann or whoever, and gets a yellow. That is 100% in play. But hopefully at 3,400 he gets us to 5 or 7 DK, which would be fantastic. Gonna unlock easily fitting Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi. I'm not going to waste my time on this. Best player in the world, best player history. Focal point of Barcelona's attack. They're going to be heavily in possession. Messi's going to get a ton of shooting opportunities, takes corners, draws fouls, shots assisted. Every single thing that DK scores, Messi gets. So you play Messi. All right, those are the two fin. So kind of talked about this game just overall. That's going to be possession based. Now, here's the thing. Barcelona, not the most DFS friendly team. Not all their corners are crossed. Pedri, who I think is going to be really popular at 5,100, 5,200, actually takes some corners and normally takes the corners short. So, you can look down and see he had 4 or 5 corners and you'll notice I only have 1 cross. So, Pedri's fine. I think from a price perspective, he's the cheapest non-Thiago forward why the heck Thiago's a forward is a whole other thing, but he's the cheapest forward. I think he'll be very popular as a result. And, he and Messi have chemistry. Messi's kind of taking him under his arm. So I think most people are going to, in cash games, going to try to start with these 3. And then, just while I'm at it, I'll just say the decision from here for most people in cash, not saying this is the GPP route, but in cash, are you going TAA, Angelino, Robertson, or are you going to a combination of 2 or 3? That's going to be the builds that people are going to be on, in my opinion. But I don't think Pedri is a lock by any means. I think there's some other interesting plays. I think Griezmann at 6,900 is playing a lot better. I think that's fine. Dembele might start out on the right. 8,100 is probably a little bit much, but kind of French connection there. Show off for the Parisians. Maybe that's a thing. But yeah, not a ton in this game. I love. I think there's a lot more juice in Leipzig and Liverpool. But Mbappe will go way under-owned. Even though he has name recognition, I don't think a lot of people are going to be on him. So if you want to play a counter-attacking goal or play for a 1-1 script, I think Mbappe is a really interesting forward option. That's probably Mbappe and Paredes are probably the only 2 PSG guys I'm interested in. Barcelona, Jordi Alba at defender, always a guy that Messi does well with and have great chemistry with. So I think Alba's fine. And Serginho Dest go USA. I don't know if he'll start or not. I think the other play I'll just mention. So you saw Barcelona is the biggest favorite on the slate, yet Ter Stegen is only the second most expensive goalkeeper, and he's not that much more than the other keepers. Keeper type pricing is really tight here, so I think it's going to make Ter Stegen probably the most popular goalie on the slate. The only issue with Ter Stegen at all, and with any goal, especially a favorite goalie on a possession-based team, is just how many saving. Wow, can't I talk? Save attempts will he get? But Barcelona win 2-0. Really good chance that Ter Stegen is the highest scoring goalkeeper on the slate. All right, I think I covered that game pretty well, and the options. All right, let's go. All right, so let's just quickly break down Liverpool versus Leipzig, which I mentioned, I think is the higher scoring and a better DFS game. So, at the top, Salah and Mane, I think, are going to come in a little bit under-owned. Interesting thing on Salah, especially playing out on the right, which is Angelino's side. Angelino is one of the worst defensive fullbacks in the world, and probably the only person he's might be worse at or better than is TAA at this point, who's just been abysmal all season, in a large part because he doesn't have any coverage behind him. Since Van Dijk and Gomez went down, the likes of Fabinho or Henderson, they just don't have anybody behind him. So it's just kind of left him exposed. But I think Salah is really interesting from a GPP perspective, as is Mane. This game's going to be very open. One thing tactically I heard today on, not a non-DFS related pod, but was just how the last 2 games, Liverpool have gotten absolutely destroyed by system changes where you have really, really creative players occupying the space right in front of center backs because, while Henderson, Fabinho, whoever else is playing center back, they, can defend, right? It's just that when you have a super creative guy in front of them, or if it's Kabak or whoever, I was I couldn't remember. It was it's not Oblak. I knew it was Kabak, but they really struggle to pick up and deal with the movements right behind. So, the likes of Nkunku, I think Danny Olmo, they might be playing this false 9 or a number 10. I think Forsberg is likely not in. Let me just check because he's actually has really, really good movement. Not an option. Okay. So it'll probably be Nkunku or Danny Olmo sitting in that hole right in front of the center backs. They could cause all sorts of issues for Liverpool. So I think Danny Olmo of the two, especially where he's priced at what is it, 50? Why can't I find him? Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. 5,600. I think it's really interesting. Probably like doesn't exactly have like a floor, right? That's the only issue with a lot of these guys is the floor are not like the traditional like crosses, shots assisted, those type of things. But you might be kind of playing for like a goal or assist. But really do like Olmo. I think he's really interesting at the midfield spot. But let's just kind of like just talk about this game as a whole in terms of where you're going to go for DFS. I think everybody's going to flock to the fullbacks. So I think for most people, TA and Angelino, both are really at this point attacking fullbacks, wingbacks. Angelino truly is a wingback. They play a back three. TAA plays a back four, but typically you'll see like Wijnaldum or when it used to be Fabinho drop really deep, allowing TAA to go up. They might have to be really careful tomorrow because Angelino can get right behind TA if he goes up too forward. And Angelino has been phenomenal at finding one of those late runs. So I think most people are just going to play one of those two. Robertson, 5,900, also takes sets. So TAA and Robertson split sets. All of them are probably the best floors in this game, and they all happen to be under 7K. And Nkunku, 8,700, I think is fine. I personally just haven't really found builds that, like from a cash perspective, again, GPP, anything works. GPP, I love like plugging those two from PSG and Barcelona and then just stacking the hell out of this game. I think that makes a ton of sense. Nkunku just from like an optimal perspective isn't finding any of my builds, but I think he's fine. Just at 8,700, I don't know. I just think that he promotes kind of a different build. So again, if you want to be different, want to get off the chalk, then that makes sense. But maybe I'm gonna regret saying this, but I feel like he lacks upside, like lacks goal scoring. Now he's gonna score 3, but whatever. That's how it goes. So yeah, Salah, Mane, the usual. I think Firmino's price of 6,200 is really, really intriguing. Again, I don't see clean sheet in this game. Like I think it's gonna be 2-1, 2-2, 3-2. Like I see three plus goals. Now, whichever side you want to go. Like as a Liverpool fan, I want it to be Liverpool, but the tactical side of me goes, I don't know how Liverpool's gonna stop them. The defense has just been that bad. So, why wouldn't I want some attacking piece from Leipzig? Hence, if you start looking down here at the attacking pieces and you go, oh man, Olmo, like I just mentioned, is really cheap. Let's look at just Leipzig. So almost cheap. Mukiele is actually really interesting. He's likely to play right wing back. It could be him or Adams, but Mukiele, normally is the guy that's favored. If Adams is in at 3,100, like I haven't played with the build with both him and Paredes. I like Paredes a lot more, but can't argue with him. Poulsen 7,300. Like if you want a low on goal, there you go. But I won't play him. I'd rather play. Sorry for my words not working. Firmino 6,200. But yeah, I think that's that game. So realistically, from like how you're going to build at forward, Messi. You can go pay down for Pedri, or I think maybe playing Firmino. As weird as that sounds, Firmino's actually been really good for Liverpool lately. Really good movements. We're gonna need some goals, so I think Firmino's interesting. Or Nkunku is like the more traditional cash play. Really think Salah and Mane are almost priced out. Mane for $1,500 discount, I think makes more sense. Midfield, plug in Paredes. Then I think you're just kind of in whatever fits. I would actually skip filling my next midfield spot and go to defender and just decide what you're going to do, right? So are you going to try to just jam in all three of these guys, which I can't argue for you for doing. But, I think a lot of people might start with this type of shell and then just see what fits. Pedri gets there. He's still 51 and had left over. Goalkeeper, depending on where you go, you can maybe get up to my guy, Danny Olmo, depending on who you pick. Or if you play Ter Stegen, you're not looking at the best options, but just toy around. That's still going to be the reality of this slate. It's like, I really think more than anything, you just got to pick a scoreline that you think is going to be good, or that you think makes sense and go with it. Like, if you think I'm way wrong on Barcelona PSG and that Barcelona's just going to steamroll, then, play Messi Grease and, play some Jordi Alba with Turk Stegen or something like that. Like, that definitely works. Pedri, whoever. But I really do like, especially from a GPP perspective, I'm going to be stacking up Liverpool, Leipzig, rooting for fireworks, and hopefully the Reds get out on top. And with that, that's going to do it. So once again, Keith, Giga231. Hope that this helps. Give it a like and a comment if it did. I will see you all tomorrow night for a preview of Wednesday's 2 Gamer. With that, see you.